Hey, Darvin, you had a number of guys that you haven't had as regular minutes lately step up in different spots, and I just wondered if anybody stood out and if there's anything that you noticed in that context.
I thought it was a well-balanced win, a well-balanced team win from the guys that started us off. They came out blazing hot in that first quarter. I think they had 6 threes, 7 threes, something like that. But, it was good to get a well-balanced win like that. In between quarters, talked about, defending and getting on to the next play. Our defense, obviously, with a deficit like that, the end of the game is what it is. But those second and third quarters, I thought we really locked down and locked in on trying to get better on the defensive side of things. And it led to some good offense. 41 assists offensively. Got out and ran. Had 20 fast break points. It was good, man. It was a really good win. Shot it well at the free throw line, 14 for 14. But just, again, us applying pressure defensively. A lot of good carryover from the day we had yesterday in the film room, and also, some things we discussed in our walkthroughs and some breakdowns we did in practice. So thought it was a great win. And, from Max, D'Lo coming off, having 9 assists, Austin obviously being aggressive, Max defensive rebound, and C. Wood knocking out some big threes for us. And then our starters. I can't remember the last time Brian and A combined for 30 minutes, roughly 31 minutes. So it was good to be able to see them, get a chance to start their recovery process in the fourth quarter.
You mentioned the minutes and not having to play them in the fourth. Just AD in general, Darvin, the rhythm that he's in on offense, what he's giving you defensive consistently. How would you evaluate what he's doing in the context that he's doing it in?
I think it's great, man. Us going to more of a non-traditional lineup, I think is forcing him to be one of our major playmakers, with our secondary offense, with him and Trail. We play through him a lot, obviously, in the post and at the elbow, but him being in Trail and getting the quarterback a little bit before he goes and set a pick and roll. He can choose which side he wants to go to, and he's getting in and out of screens great. He's really not settling. Just playing to the paint, playing to the rim, running, catching lobs, playing in the pocket. He's doing it in a lot of different ways, and defensively, he's always going to be there for you, and so that's just who he is. His game is built out from that way, from the defensive side of things all the way down to the offensive side of things. So it's great to see him playing in a great rhythm. We just, going to do everything we can in our power to help him sustain that.
Staying on AD, the 4 blocks he had today, the 4 dunks that he had today, is that a physical representation of focus or aggression or whatever, that the intangible assets that this team kind of needs to find its identity?
Yeah, those couple days didn't hurt. A couple days of not having a game, being early Christmas Day game, came up short unfortunately, but having Tuesday off and then coming in and more of a, the film basically was the practice, and guys being able to be back in our building, our facilities with our resources, and really get, that home treatment, sleep in their own beds. It was a lot of freshness out there today. So I think that's a huge part of it, just the times we can be efficient with our bodies and be efficient with the type of practices we're having, the type of team sessions we're having, at least those guys having, fresher legs and being able to play longer and with more force.
You mentioned the freshness tonight, and you were able to keep both those guys at 25, 26 minutes with the back-to-back upcoming. Is there a plan, to how you will manage them over those 2 games? Could we see both those guys in both the games?
Man, those guys are highly competitive, and there's 2 teams that's, is going to be right in the mix. One is at the top of the Western Conference, one is surging. So, I expect those guys to have themselves ready and available. I don't know if a minute restriction applies or a minutes zone applies when you're dealing with this high-level basketball to finish the calendar year. I just look forward to, us getting to Minnesota safely, God willing, and being ready to play that game on Saturday. We'll worry about the rest later.
Darvin, how has Rudy handled wearing the mask, and was tonight a case where he's getting used to it more?
Yeah, it's definitely a case. It's a medical requirement for him just to protect his nose, protect his face. But yeah, it's going to take some getting used to. Your eyes sunken in, you constantly feel something. You can see it around the outlier edges of your vision. Something is there. But I think he's he's managed it well. He was big for us tonight as well. And he's staying aggressive. He's shooting with it on and during his pregame workouts, and sometimes. But he has his sessions where he tries to figure it out. But I'm pretty sure he can't wait to be done with it.
Sticking with the topic of Hachimura, when you decided to start him tonight, what were you looking for from him, and what do you think you got?
This Charlotte team, their record may not reflect it, but they're a really young, competitive bunch. Steve Clifford, his staff, he has an awesome staff. He and I are really close friends, and I know they're going to come in and play hard. I think they lost single digits, but, to the Clippers and to the Nuggets, their last couple of games. So, we knew that they're going to be playing fast with a lot of force. They're athletic. They run fast and they jump high. So that was the mindset behind putting a bigger body out there with those other four and maintaining our size and athleticism and our speed. And that's what he provided tonight.
What have you seen D'Lo provide with the second unit or the bench unit that may not have been with that group beforehand?
I just think, as of right now, he's really being deliberate about how he's organizing things for that group. He's been great collaborating with myself and the coaches about the play calls and whatnot. Shout out to Phil and JD.